We don't need all the money right now. You just pay us when you can.
Most people feel safe at home, but should they?
According to the medical examiner, they died from the weight of the dirt and also from breathing in the dirt.
She knew these people. In the end, it didn't matter at all.
Danger can be close.
The pain that she was caused was an agony type of pain. It was over the top.
Hidden behind familiar faces.
It'd be just like to cross the street right over to that house over there.
She struck him again and again with that hatchet.
These deadly women choose to kill close to home. They loathe their neighbors. Summer 2005. At the end of a desolate road in Georgia, a freshly dug grave awaits the Grim Reaper. But the victims aren't dead.
It's really frightening to think about, and I don't even like to think about the way they died.
Charleston, South Carolina. 23-year-old Tiffany Cole welcomes regular visits from her kind neighbors, Reggie and Carol Sumner.
How's your dad?
Tiffany's father is dying of cancer, and the Sumners are helping him through his last days.
We'll go up and see how he is. Why don't you go out for a while and have some fun?
They were sweet, they were loving, they cared about their family, and they cared about people. They cared about Tiffany Cole. And that's one of the tragedies of this case.
The Sumners can't stay long. They are retiring to the Florida sunshine. But before they go, they give Tiffany one last helping hand.
We're happy to help you, sweetie. We don't need all the money right now. You just pay us when you can.
When they learned that Tiffany needed a car, they sold their car to Tiffany.
Don't forget, if you're ever down in Florida, there's always a bed at our place. Is that right, honey?
For sure.
Thank you.
Told her that if you're ever in Jacksonville, you need a place to crash, you can come stay with us.
It's a fateful invitation. After her father passes away, Tiffany changes. She starts mixing with a bad crowd. Drinking, drugs, and petty crime are now her priorities.
Tiffany was just partying. She had gotten involved, was doing some cocaine, and she was even selling drugs just to get more money to support partying more.
Hey, have a guy. Hey.
Man. Michael, this is Tiffany. Tiffany, this is Michael.
Howdy.
She falls for bad boy Michael Jackson.
Tiffany and Michael's relationship was a match made in hell.
Michael Jackson, in my estimation, is the epitome of a sociopath.
He thought he was kind of king of the world.
That works, that works.
He was just motivated by greed above all things.
Michael Jackson is a thief and soon has Tiffany under his spell.
He was out there trying to get the next big score, and in this case, he was going to do whatever it took to get some money.
When they need cash, Tiffany remembers the Sumners' kind-hearted offer. And so they plan a road trip to Florida.
Michael and Tiffany wound up in Jacksonville. And they spent a couple nights at the Sumners.
Hi, Tiffany, come on in.
Hi, guys, come on in. Good to see you. Hey, nice coins. It's my pride and joy. Spent more than I should have.
Tiffany realized we've got easy marks here.
The Sumners had cash from when they sold their home. They had a nice car. Reggie Sumner had a coin collection.
Tiffany has handed her neighbors to her sociopathic boyfriend
Nice.
on a silver platter.
You know, they're both so old and weak. It'd be like so easy to rob them.
Yeah. We gotta get their credit card details just so we can get the cash out, you know.
This plan developed where they would abduct the Sumners and ultimately kill them in order to get the codes for their ATM, for their credit cards, so that they could empty their bank accounts.
Their cash out otherwise. Hey, buddy.
guys?
How are you guys?
Hey, dudes. How you guys doing?
Good.
Are we part of a robbery? Easiest one you'll ever do. No, right?
Hi, man. How about you?
Sounds cool.
Michael brought in Alan Wade and Bruce Nixon pretty much for muscle.
Tiffany's plan calls for some macabre preparations.
A couple days before the Sumners were kidnapped, the 4 defendants went across the state line up to Georgia. And they dug a grave.
Hey, you hear that duct tape and gloves like I told you to?
Yeah.
Tiffany held the flashlight while they dug that grave. She knew what was going to happen.
Hey guys, they already know Michael and I, so you two are gonna have to go to the door.
Yeah, she's right, guys. Come on, keep going.
She knew these people. They had been good to her. In the end, it didn't matter at all.
– 2005. In the heat of the 4th of July holiday, while the nation celebrates independence, Tiffany Cole and her accomplices are about to pay Reggie and Carol Sumner a surprise visit.
The decision was made to send Alan and Bruce in because the Sumners didn't know them. They knocked on the door, said they needed to use the phone.
Hi, our car's broken down. Do you mind if we use your phone?
Oh, your car's broken down.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Come on in. The phone's right there. Hey, Richie, these guys just...
Please, please.
As soon as they got inside, they tied them up and began to ransack the house. They found Reggie's coin collection, the ATM cards that they were looking for.
Is he done? We need him out!
Without a glimmer of sympathy, Tiffany watches while the Sumners are bound, gagged, and shoved into the trunk of their own car. Tiffany and the gang head to the prepared gravesite. When they open the trunk, they find the Sumners hugging each other and praying.
They're both very sickly, and you can imagine this 35-minute drive in their trunk. They're very weak at this point.
Get it! Just give me the number and you don't have to go there! Give me the goddamn PIN number! Give me the PIN number! Now! 4095.
Michael managed to get Reggie to give up the PIN numbers to the bank accounts.
With access to all their cash, the gang can let the frail couple go.
4095.
But they don't.
Michael and Alan began shoveling dirt onto the Sumners.
The dirt is slowly filling in the hole, getting higher and higher. It's crushing their chest.
Hurry up, guys. Come on, we gotta get out of here.
The Sumners are being buried alive.
Imagine how long it takes when you first put the first scoop of dirt in. Okay, maybe we should stop now. We've gone far enough. The second, the third, the fourth, the dirt's halfway up the hole and you're still filling it in, and you're just watching. They were alive until the very last minute because we know that once the dirt reached their mouth, they actually inhaled dirt.
When their bodies were found, they were hugging each other.
Tiffany had so little decency in her soul. She didn't even kill these people before she put them in their grave.
I can't imagine any more heinous way to die.
The Sumners helped Tiffany and her father in their hour of need. Now, they are repaid with death.
That tells me quite a bit about what was in Tiffany's heart. She could cold-bloodedly plan out the murder of an elderly couple who had been good to her. And the murder wasn't even necessary anyway.
Oh, there we go.
The gang goes on a spending spree.
Oh, come on.
They went to an ATM machine to use a credit card within several minutes of them being buried alive.
All right, it's photo time, photos. Oh, come on, sweetheart. Smile for the camera. You know, come on, like you're a supermodel.
Back in Jacksonville, concerned family members have reported the Sumners missing. Police start tracking their credit cards.
At one point, the police put a freeze on the ATM card.
When the money tap turns off, the killers are forced to make a move. It's a dumb one.
Michael Jackson comes up with this plan that he's going to call the sheriff's office and pretend to be Reggie Sumner.
Oh, hello. It's Mr. Sumner here.
Well, we got people all over the place looking for you.
Yeah, well, we just wanted to let you know that we're okay.
The sheriff's office is very aware that this is not Reggie Sumner. This is not a sickly 60-something-year-old man that they're talking to on the phone. They ask, continuing the ruse, is Carol there?
Oh, yeah, she's right here.
And Michael says, yeah, sure, Carol's here.
Straight on.
And then Tiffany Cole gets on the phone. And Tiffany Cole pretends to be Carol.
Yeah, hey, this is Carol Sumner. Yeah, we're totally fine.
With their prime suspects on the line, the police reactivate the credit cards, hoping to hook them. It works. A spending trail leads them straight to Tiffany and Michael.
They find Michael Jackson and Tiffany Cole in one hotel room with items belonging to Reggie and Carol.
In 2007, Tiffany Cole and Michael Jackson are tried for murder. Michael receives the death penalty. Tiffany tries to put the blame on her lover.
She has maintained that she did not know this was going to turn into a murder, that she thought it was a simple robbery. She's never really taken responsibility for her role in this crime.
The jury doesn't buy her story. Tiffany Cole also receives the death penalty for the double murder. She is currently on Florida's death row.
In the end, it was Tiffany who introduced Michael to her friends, the Sumners. And in the end, it was Tiffany who waited while the Sumners were killed. Tiffany was the architect of her own life, and now she's on death row.
March 2003. In the historic hamlet of Lock Haven, Pennsylvania, a Pearl Harbor survivor is facing another deadly enemy.
And asked her why. Why are you doing this? And she said, because I can. Just die.
The small university town is a peaceful place to raise a family.
Everybody knows just about everybody around.
It's Shanda D. Walters' hometown.
Because he's alone. I think we need to find his mommy.
She's brought up in a white neighborhood, but Shanda is of mixed race.
She had a black father and a white mother, which was a little different, but it wasn't traumatic.
Shanda does well in school and dreams of life beyond Lock Haven.
She had a fantasy that one day she would be an illustrator for Walt Disney Animation. You can't get much more wholesome than that. And she really looked like she had a very bright future.
But then Shanda's life takes a U-turn. From Disney to drugs.
Shanda started getting into drugs after she got out of high school, and she partied a lot with serious drugs, LSD, cocaine.
Damn.
Instead of college, she has a baby with a boyfriend who leaves her. And her life spirals out of control.
It was after that initial use of drugs where she really started getting into trouble.
Hey, Shanda.
In front of everybody?
You want it?
I got all the money, man.
Shanda hooks up with the notorious street gang, the Bloods.
Yo, gang.
Pretty crazy, huh?
Shanda one thing. What's your thing?
Good idea.
People don't usually seek out memberships in gangs, especially young mothers. Shanda did. Something was missing in her life, and what was missing, according to some people that knew her, was being bad.
They gave her validation for who she was, whether she was black, white, green, or purple. They also would identify her at that point as just a member of the family.
You want it?
She wants to be part of the group.
It's all right. You're gonna have to prove yourself. Get it? Whatever it takes.
But first, to gain the acceptance she so desperately craves, Shanda must prove herself.
And that tends to mean some sort of crime. And with the Bloods, there has to be a drawing of blood. Shanda took it to the extreme.
Shanda, you go around carrying something like that, you are heading for trouble.
Her family are horrified at the new Shanda, but are powerless to do anything.
Shanda obviously had been thinking about what she was going to do because she spent a week wearing it in her waistband, going around trying to look tough.
Shanda is out to impress her new family of Bloods, but even they will be shocked. "83-year-old Pearl Harbor veteran James Cementelli is a familiar face on the streets of Lock Haven.
Easygoing, never offended anybody. And he worked at the post office. He liked to hunt and fish. And as I say, he was a very nice guy.
His brother, Bill, says James was a popular man.
I don't know of anybody that didn't like him. He also had dogs that they would take and walk him, and he was always available for anybody around. He'd talk to anybody, and everybody talked to him. Easy to get along with.
But the idyllic neighborhood is harboring a bad seed. Shanda Walters has joined the Bloods gang. To prove herself, she needs to kill.
It'd be just like to cross the street right over to that house over there.
In the afternoon of March 25th, 2003, Shanda knocks at her neighbor's door.
Just a minute.
He would open the door to him. He was always welcome because people knew him and knew how good he was.
Give me your keys.
No, get out of my house.
She struck him again and again with that hatchet.
Attack with a hatchet is up close, it's personal. You get covered with blood, brain.
Despite her rage, it's not an easy way to kill someone.
Since this sort of an attack is so physical and requires a great deal of sustained energy and intent and focus, sometimes we find that the killer, the perpetrator, takes a break. In this case, Shanda Walters had a cigarette break.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
She stopped then to recite the Lord's Prayer.
Thine kingdom come.
Shanda's clumsy attempt leaves James battered, but still alive.
Why are you doing this to me?
And asked her why. Why are you doing this? And she said, because I can. Just die.
Because I can. Just die.
And then she returned to mutilating his body. He had 60 or 70 wounds over his body, 45 lacerations. He had broken bones. His left ear was nearly severed from his head. His arms and hands were just covered with defensive wounds.
But the Pearl Harbor veteran is still alive.
Her final act on the dying body of James Amatuzio was to cut an X in his stomach with a knife. What did she do then? She had a bowl of ice cream before leaving the house.
She knows what's right and wrong. She chooses to do wrong. I wouldn't be surprised if Shanda told me that when she was killing the man, it made her feel good.
In World War II, James Sementelli fought to protect the way of life in small-town America. But his beloved neighborhood spawns a combatant more deadly for him than enemy soldiers. Shanda wants to show off. She rounds up fellow gang members and returns to the crime scene.
Hey, is Michelle here? She'll be back any minute. What happened? I'll tell you when Michelle gets back. No. I'll show you.
The gang motivates you. You know that after it's over, they're still going to pat you on the back and tell you you've done a great job.
It is too much for one girl.
Help me ship the body, guys.
Wait, I'm not touching you. I don't want no part of this.
But hard-hearted Shanda ransacks the house.
They rummaged through his house. They found a jar filled with $510.25 in quarters. She threw the hatchet out of the car window.
Took him a week to find my brother. During that time, we were looking all over for him. We had no idea that he was in his home, all beat up and butchered up. by this lady.
But James has one companion.
And they wouldn't let anybody else in to see him. But his dog was still there, and she was sitting right with him, so she stayed with him. She never left him.
The horror is too much for one gang member. She gives up Shanda willingly.
It wasn't just that she murdered someone. It wasn't just that the crime was violent, but her willingness to stand there and watch him suffer.
In 2005, Shanda Walter is sentenced to death for James' brother Bill. Her execution is long overdue.
It's been almost 8 years, and all she's done is just sat on death rows, and nothing's been done about it.
The senseless killing of a beloved war veteran is a hard crime to forgive.
The gang didn't tell Shanda how to kill. They just told her that she had to kill to join the gang. It was her choice to choose a little old man. It was her choice to hack him to death with a hatchet. I think this says a lot about the black heart of Shanda. She knows what's right and wrong. She chooses to do wrong.
I don't think human beings come any more loathsome than Shanda Walter.
In the town of Tracy, in Northern California, April 2009. A farmer laying irrigation pipes makes a grisly discovery.
Take a look.
A suitcase. Inside it is the tiny corpse of a missing 8-year-old girl. The police search for her has captured the hearts and minds of the nation.
When the news was announced, a lot of people were surrounding their television screens and they just started crying, and just a total shock for everyone.
"28-year-old Melissa Huckabee is a familiar face in her grandfather's church.
Her grandfather is the pastor at the local church.
Did you know that few people know more than 3 or 4 of the commandments?
Really?
If they'd study the commandments in more detail, they'd find they're not a list of do-nots, but rather God's guide to the good life.
The single mother teaches Sunday school. One of her pupils is her 6-year-old daughter, Madison.
Very caring, loving mom. Has a little bit of a college background, went to junior college. Very well spoken.
That's beautiful.
Very pleasant.
But Melissa's hiding a dark secret.
She became deeply disturbed and started cutting herself, and the depression really kicked in, and she turned to self-harm.
Melissa suffers from bipolar disorder. Her extreme mood swings are tempered by medication.
If you met Melissa, you'd have no idea that she had a bipolar personality.
She had, over the years, gotten really good at just hiding that part of herself from the world.
Melissa and her daughter live in a trailer park. A regular playmate is 8-year-old Sandra Kantu. But instead of encouraging the friendship with her daughter, Melissa is jealous.
Sandra, it's time to go home.
Melissa had to be the center of an attention. Melissa struggled to share a relationship that involved 3 people. She needed to be in a relationship that she can manipulate.
Another little friend is Melody, and she is about to experience Melissa's jealousy firsthand.
Hey kids, come and get a drink.
In January 2009, she drugs her daughter's playmate with her bipolar medication, benzodiazepine. When Melissa brings her home later, Melody is acting strangely.
How dare you take my child out of the park? She told me she had permission. Very much doubt that.
Melody started exhibiting some lethargic behaviors
Stay away from my daughter.
and lost control of her body. And so Melody's mom became concerned, rushed her to the hospital.
Little Melody is okay once the benzodiazepine wears off. Her mom tells police she believes Melody has been drugged. But the Sunday school teacher convinces them she's done nothing wrong.
I think that just on a superficial level, the detectives decided to trust Melissa.
But they shouldn't. Two months later, Melissa is at it again, this time drugging a boyfriend.
Here, drink this.
She offered a drink.
What is that?
It's a vitamin supplement.
Well, it's bitter. It's disgusting.
Told him he was drinking some type of energy drink. He drank it.
I feel sick. I'm going home.
Later that night, police find him passed out behind the wheel and assume he is drunk.
He gets arrested, his blood's taken, so those samples are submitted and come back with nothing in them.
She gave each of those people small doses of her own medication just to see the effect it would have on them. She was testing for the big day.
Over 2 months, Melissa secretly sedates 2 innocent people. And there will be a third victim. Eight-year-old Sandra Kantu is the darling of the Orchard Estates trailer park in Tracy.
Thanks for doing the gardening, Sandra.
That's okay. Is there anything else you can do for you today?
Maybe you could do some weeding for me.
Okay.
She was a bubbly little girl. She was friendly. She was always looking for attention from adults.
Very outgoing, very photogenic, very jubilant kid. Loved to play with the different kids in the trailer park.
Sandra's friendship with Madison Huckabee would delight most moms. But for Melissa, it's a threat.
Melissa's now losing time with her daughter to the point where it makes her jealous. That's all she had left was Madison. She didn't have a husband. She couldn't keep her boyfriend. Her grandparents were getting tired of her.
But March 27th, 2009, will be Sandra Kantu's last play date. Sunday school teacher Melissa Huckabee is hiding a dark secret. She suffers from bipolar disorder and is insanely possessive of her daughter, Madison. She sees her 8-year-old playmate, Sandra Kantu, as a threat.
Hey, Sandra. Hi. Do you want to come down to the church with me?
Melissa lures Sandra into her car.
Sandra's last seen walking on the video surveillance camera.
And takes her to a place where the whole community feels safe. Her grandfather's church. Again, she uses her prescription medicine.
Sandra Kantu first was drugged by Melissa Huckabee with a sedative that would have put most adults to sleep.
Sandra.
Benzodiazepine, that chemical itself, is going to knock her out. She's going to lose control of her muscles almost to the point where it paralyzes her.
And it's not over yet. Melissa soaks a rag in rubbing alcohol.
The smothering is going to be what actually kills her. Isopropyl displaces oxygen. You displace a person's oxygen, they can't breathe, therefore they can't breathe, their heart stops.
This is not a crime of passion. This is something Melissa had been planning for quite a while. This was something that had been in her heart and her mind probably for over a decade.
Melissa prepares Sandra for a lonely burial.
Places her back in the suitcase, dressed, fully clothed, then places the body in there in the fetal position.
She drives Sandra's body to a murky irrigation pond.
Where she dumps her, pushes the suitcase into the water.
The disappearance of Sandra Kantu makes national news.
Community would gather outside the mobile home park and hold a candlelight vigil, and there would be prayers, people would sing, they would keep reminding everyone that we're going to keep searching.
Detectives soon discover one resident is particularly anxious to help. Self-confessed crime show fanatic, Melissa Huckabee.
Hi, it's Melissa. My Eddie Bar suitcase is being stolen.
Melissa drew attention to herself early in the investigation by telling people and telling the police she had had a suitcase stolen from her front sidewalk.
Officer! Officer!
Then she approaches police with a potential breakthrough.
I found it on my way to the manager's trailer.
Let me take a look.
The day after Sandra goes missing, she finds a note in the park that says, Cantu, locked in stolen suitcase, water, Bachetti Road, Whitehall Road, and witnessed.
My suitcase was stolen.
Melissa's cat and mouse games with the police and the FBI agents on site were nothing less than kind of a, look at me, but I'm not guilty. They became suspicious of her almost immediately.
It's big enough to hold a child.
The police retest the blood samples taken months earlier from Melody and Daniel Plowman. This time, they're specifically looking for Melissa's prescription medication.
In their blood, we found benzodiazepine, one of the chemicals in one of the 3 prescription antidepressant medications that Melissa takes for her bipolar.
She was testing the dosing. How much of her bipolar medication would she have to give someone? It was all working up to the moment when she would drug Sandra Kantu.
But there is even more horrific news. The autopsy reveals 8-year-old Sandra has been raped.
The sexual assault did not occur by a male's penis.
A search of Melissa's church reveals a blood-stained rolling pin.
We found Sandra's DNA on both ends of the rolling pin.
Detective Tim Bauer thinks wannabe criminologist Melissa staged the rape to throw police off her scent.
She would know that we would look at a male suspect for this type of crime. I think she did it as a ploy to try to throw us off in, placing her as the murderer.
But criminal profiler Candice DeLong suspects there's more to it.
I think Melissa Huckabee had a long-standing desire. Physical, sexual desire to exert power over a young child.
A sexual crime or irrational jealousy. Only Melissa knows. But she never tells. She agrees to plead guilty to murder if the prosecutors drop the rape charge.
Melissa escaped the death penalty and escaped a trial, and that a little girl who was found to be raped, there was no justice for that part of the crime.
She is nothing more or less than a rapist. A child rapist. That was the purpose of the murder. The murder was to hide the sexual assault. The purpose of grabbing Sandra Kantu was sexual homicide.
In 2010, Melissa is sentenced to life with no chance of parole.
There was no lesson learned here. It was just a total betrayal of trust. You really can't see it coming.
What's rare about her is that she's a woman and she was not acting in concert with a man. And that makes Melissa a very deadly woman.
In some neighborhoods, the girl next door is not what she seems. Tiffany Cole hunts down her elderly neighbors to steal their cash. Shanda Walter bludgeons a war veteran to make new friends. And Melissa Huckabee brutally rapes and suffocates her daughter's friend. These deadly women don't travel far to satisfy their deadly urges. They prefer their victims at close range. They loathe their neighbors.